they're going to take the same approach that they do for her, which is to start hitting inboxes and warning people.
I wonder if I could find someone that would pick up a defamation suit and get Facebook to take that page down.
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah, it won't work.
No, it's not going to work. You're facing the exact same thing that the awareness pages have done to CMC for 7 years.
Yep.
Which your reactions, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, your reactions have been very similar to hers, which aren't helping because you're dealing with the awareness side. But at the same time, her reactions and your reactions are both perfectly normal. I mean, they're the standard human reaction in this situation.
Right.
But no, they're not going to take a defamation suit because it's a Facebook awareness page. I mean, if it would work for you, CMC would have had the awareness pages by the balls the first year an awareness page came out.
Right.
I mean, about the only thing you can do is, I mean, okay, let me ask this a different way. How important is it? I mean, at what point, personally, for you, and this isn't me, and this isn't Sheila, because I still worry about Sheila's health, but personally, at what point does it become not worth it?
I'm almost there.
I mean
I'm really just over it all.
Because this is a volunteer, something we all enjoy doing. You know, it's a hobby, it's an interest. But at what point does it become important enough to keep battling against a never-ending attack?
Well, Jennifer, my boss last night, got a message from CMC Lies 2 from one of the admins, and they told her that they had a meeting this morning with Brendan Miller, telling them to, informing him of everything that was going on and having me taken off the contact list of awareness pages representation. And I called Miller. He didn't answer because they had first appearance. But I just tried calling again, and he was still tied up in court. But I told her I'd send an email because I don't want to harass him with phone calls all day.
Okay,
so I'm going to send him an email.
Goodness, I didn't even realize there was a contact list for awareness pages.
There isn't. That was my next statement. I talked to Bobby. Bobby said there is no contact list of any kind, and if they call Miller and start harassing him about not talking to me, Miller's just going to throw up his hands and not talk to anybody from the awareness side. But Bobby said he was going to talk to him.
I'm not even going to lie. A list of contact people designated from the awareness pages was a fantastic idea if we could have got all the pages on board. That sounded amazing, because then we could have cracked down with contact this person. We're going to funnel these phone calls and quit aggravating Breathitt County to death. I wish we would have done that from the beginning. Really? That would have been amazing. But, again, yesterday when I was trying to think ahead and all of this was another thing I was talking about yesterday when I said they will contact Miller and 99% of how you move forward is going to depend on how he deals with it. And they will break their neck to eliminate that contact.
Right.
And I'm going to point this out to you. That county is already fed up with the amount of phone calls that they get.
Yeah.
If they start getting, if you continue especially publicly as a page, if you continue, those calls will double just from the people trying to get you removed, which
Right.
hurts the ultimate goal of taking her down.
That's what Bobby said. He said all they're doing right now is slowing the progress down and basically stopping anybody from being able to take her down.
Right. And I mean, that's going to be a consideration. You would become a liability then. I mean, if he's still willing to deal with you, I mean, you would have the other side of the fence calling to continue to try to sever that connection, and that's going to become a liability because they will either succeed and get you knocked out eventually, or he's going to get twice the amount of phone calls regarding you and CNC, and it's going to increase the level of frustration on that side 100-fold.
I agree.
I mean, the only way I can say to handle what they're leaking out is to drop it all in a form that they can't contest anything has been removed. They're either going to continue to leak it out in incriminating pieces, or they're going to drop it all. Eventually, it's all going to be out there anyway.
Right.
It looks worse when it's dropped in little bitty incriminating pieces because people only remember what was dropped right then.
Right.
I mean, that would be my advice. It will be out there one way or another. I would just drop it all and be like, this is the full transcript from all three. And let it fall where it falls. I don't think there's going to be a lot of changing at this point because the amount of damage done by the way they did it, and specifically because of Helen being a victim already, I don't know whether it's recoverable.
Yeah, I don't know that it is either.
I mean, because if you read the comments, Helen wasn't a victim. Okay, Helen was a victim of CMC twice. Then she's been a victim on the awareness pages when she's got attacked, like in the first leak. And then when she wasn't it her that got caught sending the stars after?
Yes.
I mean, she's had a really rough patch.
And the roses on TikTok.
And the roses on TikTok. And even if she chooses to go back, or, whatever choices she's making, it doesn't diminish that, each time she was victimized differently. And
right.
I think where she's held such a high profile, she's like the example of the victim, really, when you think of an awareness page, because she's been put through the ringer. And I think just because it's her name tied to it, that it's her, that's why it's hitting so differently.
Well, I'm going to have to do all this when I get home because I've got work I got to do.
Okay. I mean, I wish I had better advice, but honestly, damage control only works for so long, and
if I was fighting one platform, it would be one thing, but I'm not. I'm fighting every page out there.
Yes, every page that Lies to, Rambling Rose, potheads, UD, William, all of them made a statement collectively. And like I said, I can't ever remember all of the pages making a statement as a whole.
Right.
Ever before. I mean, I'm at a loss for that one.
Well, whoever it is that's doing it, they did a hell of a job. I have no idea who it was, but.
So you've eliminated. We know it's not Eric, right?
No, it can't be Eric at this point.
And I don't see it being William. He would have posted it to his page. Making a whole new one and trying to hide is not his style. So Eric's line of "it was William" is bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever, if it's just those three ladies, it's somebody they worked with and trust.
Yep. Now, I know that Helen had gone and sent a packet to somebody in the States. I don't know if it was Miller or whatever, but she told me that she was having it hand delivered. So whatever she sent, it's probably inclusive of all this too. Because she said it was the timeline.
Well, did you ever find the first receipt?
So the money order?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been able to find it.
Is there a way to go back where you bought it at and get them to give you, like, is there a record that way?
That was one thing I was going to try to do. What, honey?
I said it's probably my fault with my anal asking you in the car.
Yeah, she's taking blame for herself because she's always on me to throw shit away. There is a way that if I have the date that it was sent, there is a way that I can go through and have them search it, but it's going to take a while for them to even bring it back to me. It's like a week or 10-day waiting period to get it back while they search their records. Because when you get a money order, you're not going in there and saying, I want a money order for Helen Harris. You're going in there and saying, I want a money order for $150, and they don't care whose name you put on it. Right.
But it should have I don't know if they could do a record of it or not, but it is something you might need in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I would get it just so I would have it if they can give it to you.
Okay. I planned on it.
And I went ahead and archived the facts page and the violations page because the facts page was already paused. The violations page, I didn't want to have to worry about approving posts and changing the membership because from the beginning that was open, so I just shut it.
Right.
It only leaves the victims page open, and I haven't heard from Tina, so.
From who?
Tina.
Oh, okay.
Since you took the page from her when she gave it to you, she's still on there as an admin.
Right.
But she's also the page creator, so she could unpublish it at any time. I haven't heard from her, so I don't know if you have. But
no, I haven't. I would have told you.
And then I think I sent you the message last night when I rewatched Ricky's live. Even he is saying there's more to come. Now that may be what y'all were talking about, what the Truth page posted. But that
they posted that this morning.
Okay.
And I reported the page. Nothing's ever come back and, they haven't reviewed it or whatever.
Has to go in your thing.
Have you sent the page a private message and tried to?
No. I have basically the only thing I did with that page is uploaded the screenshots.
Have you tried to reach out to like these 3 women and?
No, I'm blocked from all 3. That's what makes this hard. In order for me to fight this, I have to post everything publicly because I'm blocked on all 3.
What about Helen's comments that were made on the page, on the victim's page? Can you see those?
Yes.
But it won't let you reply to her.
Correct. And if you look at all her postings that the Truth page is putting out, it says right at the bottom, I'm blocked.
Right. She has you personally blocked.
Correct. But why can I still see her comments on the page? Well, actually, you know something? I haven't even looked because I was looking at the other people sending me the screenshots of what she was posting.
Okay.
When I tried to reply to one of her comments yesterday and it wouldn't let me reply. And why am I getting all these friend requests? I'm getting like 10 a day.
People being nosy. I mean, when the stuff happened on Alpha page with me and Mindy, I had like 5 or 6 come through all at once until I had changed the way my page was set up and I locked it down. And that's
Right.
when my other page started blowing up because, when you search, you don't find my personal profile, you find my dummy sale page.
Right.
Now when people do find my profile and send me a friend request, my response was something Sheila had said was, I'm sorry, I don't accept friend requests from awareness pages, but I'm happy to keep in touch through Messenger.
Right.
You could contact them that way and see what they want. If you're probably opening a can of worms, but
Right.
I hate to lump everybody because it really does seem to be divided. I think from what I can see, there are, half that think this was between friends and they understand that, y'all had formed a friendship at this point and were sharing stories and this was between friends. And then you have the other side of the camp that don't see the gray areas, only the black and white. And
Right.
that this is, all they're seeing is this is a former victim. And the way they're releasing information and phrasing it, just like you said they did this morning, they're making it look like you corralled victims and isolated them.
Yeah, but they have no proof.
They don't need proof.
So they can just make up whatever they want.
Paired with the right screenshot, they can definitely make their argument and form it as an opinion. You follow me?
Yeah.
I mean, which is what they did this morning. They took those instructions and said, this looks like he's corralling victims to isolate them so that he can prey on them, right? Was that the gist of it?
Yes.
Okay. That's all they needed because they used the screenshots and that's what it looks like. And then you have the victim, Helen Harris or Debbie or whoever that picture is from, not correcting that narrative.
Right.
I mean, so yes, unfortunately, with the right screenshot, they can post anything they want with an opinion. I mean, we deal with that every day of people watching CNC and picking up something that they think and running with it. Like, there's not a single one of us that can prove she smoked pot on this day or she was high. We look at her, we make a decision based on her, the way she looks, her behavior, and then assume that she is.
Right.
Or we piece together like the peel that fell off her shirt and her leaning off camera, or the way that she comes live, and attribute it that these behavior patterns must mean this. It's the same thing.
Right.
So, yeah, there's not much you can do about it. You can either release it all and say, to hell with it, here is every bit of it, and keep fighting. But I don't know, I don't think you're going to be able to stop them. If you reached out to the pages and maybe tried to explain, got your side out, like, I don't know whether one of the other pages would give you a platform to tell your side with all of the information released. Like, this time you would be the interviewee. You follow me?
Yeah.
I mean, you would be completely throwing yourself under the bus because you would have to take the good with the bad. But, and even then, I don't know whether that would backfire or not.
At this point, with all the pages, basically coming at me, I don't know that I'd get a platform.
I don't know. I mean, with CMC being absent and this being such a trigger topic on the pages at the moment, there might be one of the pages willing to interview you and let you get the rest of it out. Maybe,
right.
Just because it's such a trigger topic. Now, going that route, you would open yourself up not just to fair questions, but to the comments that are going to come through, and you would be at their mercy of however they chose to take that interview in.
Right.
But is it a possibility? They might. I can tell you, from my perspective, if this had happened, it's like, let me use William as an example. If this had happened to William and the situation was completely different, you know what I mean? Like, say William had done this.
Yeah.
I would have brought him on the page, on a live, and gave him a chance to lay it all out.
Right.
I mean, not just because to get his side of it, but because from a page standpoint, it is the current trigger topic.
Right.
But like I said, that could backfire. I mean,
what do you think about sending Miller an email?
You definitely need to send him an email. Getting him in person on the phone would be better because it's really hard to get context and inflection over email, so you're not going to get a feeling of what he really thinks. You're just going to get a dry response by email. I do think you're going to have to make contact with him because if CMC Live 2 have already reached out, they're not the only one. I mean, and I warned you about that yesterday, that the first thing they would do was try to eliminate the connection between you and Miller.
Right. Have you heard from Nancy at all? Because she made a comment on one of the post that was put up there, my conversation with someone about how Sheila was being tested for sickle cell. So she went through the whole scenario of how they test for sickle cell and the probability and all that. I don't know why, that was something she needed to correct, but
I haven't talked to her, and I haven't heard from her since probably Saturday, because I had sent her pictures of Chase's graduation like I did you, and
right.
she'd come back and was like, congratulations, have fun with the babies. Yesterday, I didn't talk to anybody except you and tried to keep up with the ever-changing comments and screenshots and shit going out on the pages because yesterday was unreal. Where did she make it at? I mean, I can contact her.
Well, so can I.
Okay, so somebody, is that what Sheila has, is sickle cell anemia?
No, they tested her for it. They did say there was a possibility that she did have it, but it came back negative.
Okay, so Nancy.
Yeah, I'm pulling up. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up to see where it is.
Yeah, I can't. My service is not great enough, and we've got rain today, so it's even worse. I can't be on the phone and on trying to look at the internet at the same time, or it wants to kick me off, one or the other.
Right. All right, it's on our page. It was 13 minutes ago.
Okay.
It was a conversation I was having with Donna. It was one of the screenshots that I posted.
Okay.
And Donna's talking about the cigarettes that she rolls because I do the same thing. I said she started having major joint and muscle pains always, had endometriosis, and we went to donate blood once for a few bucks here recently, and her iron was dangerously low. So they did a bunch of tests and had her red cells were dangerously low too. After 2 transfusions and 2 iron infusions, her levels didn't come up, so that's how they thought to test for sickle cell.
Okay. So Nancy posted.
And then I said, sure enough, she had it, because at one point in time they said she did have it, and then they retested it because it came back false negative. But I never corrected it, with Donna, because it happened after we stopped talking.
Okay. So what did Nancy post?
Nancy says, I have an issue with this. Let's start with Todd saying no, Sheila has sickle cell. The probability she does is a few million to 1. It's genetic. First off, both parents have to carry the gene. The part of the population that is affected by sickle cell is 90% black. The other 10% is India, the East Indies. So she's basically refuting it. But like I said, it did come back false positive the first time, and then they said she didn't have it.
Okay. So, yeah, that's kind of typical Nancy. I told you her brain works like mine. She will pull out something that doesn't look right and she's put down a reason why it doesn't look right.
Well, I stopped talking to Donna, while they were doing some of the testing.
Okay.
So when it came back that she didn't have it, there was no reason, I had no way of correcting it.
Okay, so right now, though, in the screenshots, everybody's assuming that Sheila's diagnosis is sickle cell anemia, correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay, that's going to be a problem because...
Then I'm going to have to go in and make a comment under Nancy's and tell her she was retested because it came back false positive.
There you go. I mean, basically, you didn't, the screenshot's not there, or the comment, or you never got to correct it with Donna, so it's missing from what everybody's seeing. And right now, they're running with what the diagnosis is in that screenshot, and it's not a, thank God, truly thank God that's not what she has, but
Yeah,
it
I know.
also stands out as that's why they're questioning it.
I'm correcting it now as we speak.
Okay. I mean, I can get a hold of Nancy, or I can try to. She's in Wisconsin. Michigan or Wisconsin. I don't know why I can't remember where she's at.
I'm not sure. I don't remember either.
She's up north because it's cold up there.
Right.
I mean, I'll try to get a hold of her and see what's going on in her world, what she thinks of all this. But now,
Right.
I'm going to tell you, Miss Nancy won't cut you any slack. If
I'm
there's
not
holes
enough
in
to
your
any slack.
story, she's not going to sugarcoat it. She's just like me. She will tell you where this is going to be a problem or this doesn't add up. She will make you, I mean, she'll not make you. She will question you until she gets an explanation. I mean, that's why me and her click.
Right.
So, is that the only one, Miss Nancy's from like 15 minutes ago? Or is
Yep.
that an issue on the other pages? Like,
No, nobody's mentioned it. Nancy's the only one.
okay. I'll try to get a hold of her and see what's going on with her, what she thinks of all this.
Right.
I would definitely send Miller an email and then get a hold of him if you can.
Yeah, I've been trying all day.
I don't know how you want to do the personal side of it. Defamation's not going to work. Like I said, if that would work, CMC would have had the pages by the balls, the first one that was made.
Right.
Now, if they started just blatantly making shit up with nothing to go off of, but right now that they're using those screenshots as protection. I mean, as long as they can draw a reasonable conclusion by looking at that screenshot, they're protected from defamation. I mean,
Okay.
if you want my honest opinion, that one you just read me where you said she has sickle cell anemia or implied that the test came back positive,
Yeah.
even with it being corrected later in the timeline, they can take that one single one and say you lied about her diagnosis because reasonably they could make that inference.
Right.
So that's why defamation would not work.
Okay.
The page is hidden right at the moment and it's very quiet. That's on hold.
So do you want me to get a hold of Tina and have her shut the page down?
That's up to you. I
I would
mean,
say no until I'm able to get the stuff out there that they need to get out there.
then I would go that route. I mean, I think you need to. The only way to defend yourself is going to be release the whole thing.
Right.
I mean, I hate that because I know there was parts in mine where I didn't look the best, and there's some stuff like it was never meant to be shared with everybody, but screenshots don't work because they pick those apart. Like, well, you always question if one's missing. I would screen record it, play the voice clips, and release it, and be done. If not, they're just going to keep trickling it out.
Well, this is what I replied to Nancy. I said, in the meantime of being blocked by Donna, Sheila was retested by another physician as part of a series of tests she went through, and it was later confirmed that she does not have sickle cell. That's how she started the testing for lupus. I never had the chance to correct the diagnosis with Donna.
Okay. I mean, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to give the best advice, and it's really hard from a friend perspective and then as a page perspective, because the two are really different. My advice as a friend would be what I said earlier, as at what point is this not worth it?
Right.
Because,
well, they succeeded.
I mean, maybe it will die down. I mean, this is never ending, and there's always controversies and roller coasters, and oh my God, it's just a circus. You know, it's its own little circus.
Right.
You know, a couple months from now, you could, you know, the page could pick back up, or you could work behind the scenes. But
I don't need the page.
That's a you thing. I mean, I worry about how the stress would affect Sheila, but the attacks are all coming at you.
Right.
So I think that's your decision of how far and how much do you want to fight to clear your name.
Well, see, it's like a flip side of a coin too. I never made it about me. Now I'm making it about me by defending my name, but at the same time, I want people to realize I'm not fighting for me. I'm fighting to take her down.
Right.
The
only other option, and if the other pages won't do it, we could bring you live on the victims page, and I could be the one to do the interview. The flip side of that is I would have to go at you twice as hard to eliminate
the soft questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to ask you the same questions you would expect from the other pages, even the nasty ones, just to eliminate she let him off easy, or, you know, this was their page, it was a setup.
Right. Like Sheila said, favoritism.
There you go.
All right. I'll touch base with you later. I'm going to send an email out to Brendan, then I got to get to another town and do some work for a while.
Okay.
But I'll touch base with you later on this evening.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Becky.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.